Carl Theodor Dreyer's 1932 film Vampyr is a vampire or vampire? I say vampire, but I'm not sure that's right. Might just be the perfect blend of classic horror and avant-garde. The film is moody and claustrophobic, but we also get an extended POV from a corpse that is getting carried away to be buried. Best of both worlds. The film opens on Alan Gray, played by Baron Nicholas de Gunsberg, the financier of the film, and credited as Julian West. Gray is wandering through the countryside studying the occult when he stumbles upon an inn by the river in a village called Courtempiere. Listen, I'm from New Jersey. I'm not gonna try and say it in a French accent. Courtempiere. I'm gonna say Courtempiere. And this is actually some of my favorite stuff in the film. Later on, things get a little, not necessarily complicated, but bogged down by plot and vampire exposition. But here we're dropped into a really simple and scary idea. Man shows up to a creepy hotel and it works. Low angles make it feel like Gray barely fits in these rooms. I found myself hunching my shoulders as I watched these scenes, and the camera work from Dreyer and cinematographer Rudolf Mate is so dynamic and the staging is so contemporary. These first 10 minutes really grab you and make it feel like you're hurtling towards something. While Gray sleeps, a man comes into his room and tells him that she must not die.
Sie darf nicht sterben. Hören Sie?
And leaves behind a package with a message saying that it shouldn't be opened until the man's death. And I mean, come on, man. You're fighting vampires here. Your daughter is getting the life drained out of her. Why are we being so obtuse? Read this novel after I'm dead to find out what's going on? Anyway, Gray, sensing something is wrong, but not knowing what because the man wouldn't just tell him, sets out to investigate and is led, follows a bunch of shadow ghosts back to an abandoned factory where he encounters what we will eventually discover is our vampire, who seems to control these spirits. The shadow ghosts are also some of my favorite things about this film. It seems like a fairly simple effect, even though the actual logistics of filming something like this, tracking shot, are very much not simple. Shadows on a wall is a simple idea, but really effective and very creepy. Gray does some snooping until he is ushered out by a mustachioed man who is working for our vampire. He's like our Renfield, only he eats less bugs. That we see anyway. He might eat lots of bugs in his personal time. And now for me, this is where the movie slows down. Gray finds his way to the house of the man who left him the package, and we find out that one of his daughters is being slowly killed and turned into a vampire. The shadow ghosts kill the man, and Gray says, well, I guess it's time to crack open this 500-page novel to see what's going on. And throughout the rest of the film, we get these very extended sequences where we just have to sit and read along with the characters reading about vampire lore. It really dragged down the film for me. This was Dreyer's first sound film, and all the audio and sound was recorded later, but I feel like most of the silent films I've watched don't have this much text exposition. We don't really have to explain vampires in modern movies because they are such a part of the zeitgeist, so maybe this was more interesting to audiences back then, but what a slog. It also doesn't help that you have to try and pick out the subtitles from a background of text. Give me some kind of black background. Criterion Channel? Jeez. The mustachioed man turns out to be a doctor who is looking after the man's daughter. He convinces Gray to give the daughter some of his blood, after which he is weakened and tired and falls asleep. And then one of the servants starts reading about vampires and discovers the actual important information, which is how to kill them. Way to go, Alan. You stopped before the good stuff. The doctor kidnaps the other sister and takes off back to the abandoned factory. After waking up from a premonition, Gray stops the one sister from drinking poison. In this world, vampires make you kill yourself once they're done with you so that your soul can't go to heaven and your soul is delivered to the devil, even though tricking someone into drinking poison feels more like murder to me. But I don't make God's rules. He stops her from drinking poison and then goes after the doctor, but I guess he's still so weak that he falls over and has an out-of-body experience. And this is where we get into the real avant-garde stuff. A ghost like Gray heads to the factory and watches as his dead body is sealed in a coffin. This is where we get that extended shot from the POV of the corpse as it's taken to the cemetery. Meanwhile, the servant has been doing the real work and has discovered how to kill the vampire, and obviously these are Independence Day rules, so if you kill the mother vampire, everyone is cured. Our remaining villains are punished, and our heroes head off into the sunlight. Vampyr was a big old flop when it first premiered, which surprises me because yes, it does have some moments that are bold and experimental, but I think that the moody atmosphere and creepy imagery are more than enough to satisfy a mainstream audience. And if you want to see some more creepy imagery that satisfies, click those. That's not true. It's just me talking about more old movies. Clickbait it, yeah. Now go watch something old other than me. Clickbait. Clickbait, clickbait, clickbait.